Hi, Victoria here from HBA Encompass, the Bookkeeper Hub and Zest for Success, back in my car studio, and today I'm talking about how to manage it all. Now that's coming from someone who's a director of 2 growing businesses, an author, a mother of 3 humans and 1 dog. So as you can imagine, my time is limited, hence the fact that I'm sitting in my car studio recording this for you now. But there is a way to have your cake and eat it too. And it all comes down to the way that you run your business. Over the last, 6 weeks that we've been doing this, we've been talking about setting your business up, making sure that you've got the systems and procedures, working smarter rather than harder. So now I want to get down a little bit to the nitty-gritty. I am going to refer to the book a bit because I want to make sure that I do, I suppose, touch on all the things that I do that make my businesses stronger. So the first one we do is we have a daily huddle. And that's where we get together all our staff and we sit down, or we actually stand up, because if you stand up it's a much quicker meeting, and you go around all the staff in a circle. The first thing you do is you start with what you're working on today. The next thing you do when you go around the next round is you say what you're stuck on. And that then allows for other staff members to put their hand up to help you with what's stuck on, or let you know when suits them for them to be able to come to you to get you unstuck. So for instance, in the accounting firm, one of the juniors might say that I'm stuck in finishing this job because I need to see Victoria, and I can go, great, see me straight after the meeting, we'll get this finished and we'll get this job finished. Other industries call them toolbox talks, not talking about the checklists and that kind of stuff that you need to do in industry, but more making sure that everyone knows what everyone is doing if someone's stuck, and if they can help them, because the main idea is to get the job finished or get it out the door. That kind of then flows on to daily tasks and goal setting. Now, I'm a big believer in having a daily planner where I write down the tasks that I need to do for the day. I usually have the top 3 are the most important things that I need to do for the day, and the rest of them are things that I need to do but aren't essential. Write them out either before you go home each night or first thing when you're getting in the morning, and then sit and have a critical look at them. And look at them and go, are there any of these tasks that I can delegate to someone else? Keeping in mind that it's your job as the business owner to be keeping things moving. It might be marketing, it might be on the tools, but you've got to make the best use for your time. We talked about it when we talked about outsourcing weeks and weeks ago. The same thing. Looking at your to-do list and delegating anything that you don't need to do. Then looking at your useful cloud apps. Now, I've been talking about Xero and its ecosystem for the past week and a half, but there's other things that you use that are cloud apps that can help you, whether it be Office 365 or Google Suite, whether it be Trello for looking after your tasks and your processes, Lucidchart for actual creating flowcharts of what your processes and procedures are. Google Sites, having a local intranet that staff members can actually look at how they need to do things in case they forget, or if they've got to jump into someone else's role. Yes, these things take time to set up, but once they're up and running, the time saving it gives you is amazing. And that comes back to the delegation. I look at something and go, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to do this repeatedly. I make sure I've got a task. I make sure it's in my Google Sites, there's a process for it, and then I delegate it to someone else. You go watch the video, you work it out. If you've got issues or you're stuck, come back and see me, but have a crack at it first. Okay, and the last thing I want to really talk about is mentors and coaches. Make sure that you have someone that you're accountable to. Preferably not your significant other, because that can create all kinds of stresses, but someone who may have experience in the industry or experience in business. Ask them to give you a hand. Now, there is a difference between a mentor and a coach. A mentor is generally an unpaid role. They will sit there and they will ask you questions and make you think through things. They will hold you accountable. A coach is more like a football coach. They're going to work with you to work out the plan of attack, what you're going to do, what you did wrong, how to fix it. An excellent coach will guide you to make the decisions yourself, but then still remain accountable for what you're doing. A coach is generally a paid role and a mentor is generally a free role. So that's really all I've got to say today is in talking about getting it all and having it all. Most importantly, before I go, make sure you have time for you. Get your daily schedule. Ideally work out what you're going to do when. It may all go up the creek if something urgent happens, but if you can set a routine. For instance, we have our daily huddle at 10 to 10 every morning. From 2 till 2:30, I check my emails for anything that needs to be dealt with or delegated. Then I sit and look at my to-do list for tomorrow. Then I walk out the door, come sit in my car, record some videos and pick up the kids. So having that kind of routine makes it easy for you and easy for your team because they know when and where they can get hold of me. And of course, as I said before, schedule time for you. I pick the kids up from school, drop them home, then go to the gym. Then I come back and if I've got more work to do, I'll do it. But I try not to work at night time. I try not to work on weekends. Yeah, sure, sometimes things happen and you just need to. You've got to get things out the door at the end of the day because the buck stops with you. But the more that you can delegate, the more systems and procedures you have and the ability to systemize yourself is the best that you can do. So my task for you today is to think about what you do, how you do it, and how you can do it smarter rather than harder. I'll see you on the other side.